Shri Gurave Namaha. Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam nandati prabhu prabhu mamadeshi guru pramanam madhav chaitadesh. Hare Krishna. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for coming regularly for the session, taking it very seriously. If you have noticed, Bhagavad Gita, which is very confined to India, right? We all know that it is very confined to India, and not many people from globally knew about Bhagavad Gita, right? It's only because of this particular personality, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Bhagavad Gita actually crossed the borders of India, right? He came to know that people outside also need this information because everyone was struggling, right? They needed this wisdom to better their life. And that's one of the reasons we have this particular personality, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who actually went to the Western countries and actually preached the glories of Bhagavad Gita. Today, if you see, when we go to Vrindavan, there are people from various countries who come to Vrindavan, right? It's not just us. If you see, there are people from Russia, there are people from China, there are people from UK, right? All the places that we have never seen. And whenever there is kirtan happening, you can see all the devotees dancing, all the devotees chanting the holy names of the Lord. Now, how is this possible? It is only because of this particular personality, right? He was a pure devotee of the Lord, so he actually went and preached the message of Krishna. And there were so many devotees who actually transformed their life, right? So he went to US when there was hippie culture. Everyone knows the hippie culture, right? Everyone was intoxicated, they were into drugs, right? And various abominable things that were happening right in front of Srila Prabhupada. But he still went on preaching the message of Bhagavad Gita. And these were the hippies actually who understood Bhagavad Gita, applied it on their daily life, and transformed. They say they transformed, Srila Prabhupada transformed hippies to happies. And if you see in Vrindavan now, there are so many people of different color and culture that come to Vrindavan to take darshan of the Lord. And it's only because of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. So I dedicate this presentation, this session, to A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So if you see, today's topic is dealing with adverse situations. Today's topic will actually help you answer many questions in your life. Many questions that pop up in your head, and you never found answers to this. When I say Bhagavad Gita has got all the answers to all the questions, I mean it. Right? All the sessions that we have, it's right from Bhagavad Gita. Right? So today, if you see, in the world, everyone is made so differently, right? Everyone looks different. Everyone different color. Hairstyle we keep changing. Right? Why so much diversity, right? So if you see, in this world, some are born rich. Some are born very poor. Some are very strong. Some are born weak. Some are born beautiful. Some not so beautiful. Some have lot to eat, while some don't even get a drop. Some get the best education, while some don't get the basic needs itself. Some are very fair, some are dark. Some live in mansion. Some live in huts, Jhopatpatti, right? Some are born blind. Some are physically challenged. Some are very intelligent, they are born intelligent. Some are very talented. Now, why such diversity? Right? So much diversity we see. What is the basis of such diversity? Why everyone is different? Right? Why I am born in a certain condition, why someone else is born in a different condition? Is this just by chance? God just randomly picks up someone, you'll be born in Ambani's family, you'll be born in a very poor family. Is this by chance? Okay. Then if God exists, then why so much suffering? Why do bad things happen to good people? This is one major question that most of us have. And when we see something bad happening to someone who is very devoted, right? And then we have questions: is there God? Right? So today's session will actually help you answer these questions. Right? This will help you to understand yourself. It will help you to understand what is happening in your life and how to deal with it or how to accept it. Right? So let's start today. Right? Karma. So today's section is karma. Everyone is very interested. Karma. Everyone has different ideologies and understanding about karma as well. So today we'll actually speak about karma. So if you see, there are a lot of atheists. You get to meet a lot of atheists also. I have a lot of atheist friends. So they tell me why you believe in God. I give my various reasons. But there are people who are receptive. They understand. Some are just blocked in their head and they don't want to understand. Right? But one thing, if you see, some of the atheists that I have met also, so some of them, so I asked them, do you believe in karma at least? So they said yes. We believe in karma. Right? So this is actually a little duplicit behavior where you don't accept God, but that you accept something called as karma. Right? There is no, you accept a law, but no lawmaker. Right? It's just like that. So today we'll actually get in depth understanding about karma, the law of action and reaction. So before that, let me start this video. It's full volume. Just a funny way to start the session. Now, from you, I want to know what is your understanding about karma? Just whatever you heard so far, whatever you understood, I would like to know. Anyone wants to tell? What is karma based on your understanding? Okay, Mataji says what you do comes back to you. Karma is action, yes, and karma is intention, okay. What in the previous birth, Prabhu? Anything happened, so we get the same reaction. Okay, fine. What else? Doing your duty without expecting, okay? Okay, so if you do good, good comes back to you. If you do bad, yes. Okay? Keeping? Everything in the universe is balanced. Very nice. Who is it saying? Sorry. Yes, Prabhu. Life is not possible without karma. Okay. Nice, nice. Thank you so much. I think you would have all seen this. This this is a famous phrase. Karma is no menu. You get served what you deserve, right? So people say, मुझे क्यों प्रभु मेरे को क्यों आ गया, right? We have that question. मुझे ही क्यों चुना इसलिए, right? Whenever something bad happens. So today, let's start. So the basic tenets of karma. Like someone said, every action has a equal and opposite reaction. This is Newton's third law. Yes. Responsibility comes with developed intelligence. Human life is a junction. Now let's get deep inside all of this. Right? Let's look into different types of karma. Right? And for that, let's look into Bhagavad Gita itself. The first, let's read this shloka. Repeat after me. It's from chapter 4, verse number 17. Karmano hi api bodhavyam bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha akarmanascha bodhavyam gahanukarmano gatihi. Can someone read the translation, please? Right. So there are three things that is highlighted here in this particular word, and we'll actually dig deep into that. The first is we'll understand what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is. Now, to tell you what action is, another name of action is, like what Prabhu said, karma is called action. Karma is also called good karma. Also we call karma. Sukarma is another word for karma. And for forbidden action, Sanskrit word is Vikarma. Vikarma. And inaction, what is the Sanskrit word? Akarma. Okay? So we'll dig deep into this. So please write it down. It's karma or sukarma. Then forbidden action is Vikarma. And the third inaction is Akarma. Okay? So we'll dig deep into this. So let me ask you one thing. Karma or sukarma, good karma. What is good karma? What comes under it?
Every good action.
Every good action that we do. Okay. What are the good actions that we do? Charity. Okay. Compassion, kindness. Yes. Selflessness. Yes. Empathy. Okay. What else? Helping others. Yes. Sorry, someone said something? Helping others without expectation. All this comes under good karma. You all agree? Right? See, good karma. Right? Giving alms, feeding the poor, building free schools. Like earlier, I think when there were kings and all, they used to actually build wells in villages. Every few kilometers, they used to have wells. So that was considered as good karma. Right? So it's for villages who were staying close by. It was easy for them to fetch water. Right? So good karma, everyone knows. Everyone's clear, right? What good karma. And when you do good karma, what is the reaction?
Very good in return.
Good in return. What is it called? Punya. Right? You do good karma and the reaction is punya. Okay? Now tell me. So when you get punya, you have to enjoy, right? Right. So good karma leads to enjoyment. So every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So you do good karma, it has to come back to you as good karma. Right? There is a reaction. Okay? Now tell me, what is bad karma? What is your understanding of bad karma? Greed. Okay. What is it? Anger. Okay. Jealousy. Okay. Hurting someone. Okay. Cheating. Right? Exploiting someone. Very good. Okay, everyone agrees these are all bad?
Manipulation.
Manipulation, yes. Everyone agrees this is all bad karma? Yeah? Right. Bad karma, papa. Right? So whenever you do bad karma, what is the resultant reaction? Suffering. Right? Papa. Bad karma. Good karma leads to punya. Bad karma leads to papa. And you have to suffer for that. Now, I'll ask you one thing. Now, what I feel good, it's not right that you may feel that same thing is good. So today I say, please don't drink a lot. It's not good for your health. But if I say that to a drunkard, he will say, what is wrong with you? It is the best thing in the world. So what is good for me may not be good for someone else. So can you tell me, how do we base this? Intention. Whose intention? Okay. Okay. All right. Anything else? Impact on the other person. So, but in this, it is my opinion, right? Drinking not good, it's my opinion. And that person saying drinking good is his opinion. Everyone has their opinion. Right? So we'll come into a clash. So it's relative. Right? So how do we base what is right and what is wrong? Okay. What is it? Your belief? Well, my belief could be based on whatever association that I've had in my upbringing, right? It could be right, it could be wrong also. I'll tell you how. It is based on scriptures. Let's go back. When I said, when you get a washing machine home, what do you get? With a manual. How to operate the washing machine. Similarly, we are in this body, right? And what is the manual? Bhagavad Gita is the manual. The scriptures are the manual. So scriptures tell you what is right and what is wrong. So my opinion or your opinion won't matter. Opinion, what matters is what is mentioned in the scriptures. Right? A manufacturer would know how to operate the body. Right? At least that logic is right. Everyone agrees to that, right? Yeah. So bad karma, there are various things we all spoke, murder, crime, all are the bad karma. So actually, if you have the question, write it down. At the end of the session, we'll answer those questions, okay? Or you'll get more clarity as we proceed. Okay? So let's look into Bhagavad Gita itself. So in this, let me actually recite the shloka, you can recite after me. Etva etad abhiya nanu tishtanti me matam sarvashana vidudam stan viddinastana te achetasaha. Can someone read?
Those who outwardly disregard these teachings and do not follow them regularly are to be considered benefit of all knowledge, behold and goodness and endeavor of perfection.
So if you see, this is directly from Krishna. Right? Those who actually disregard the teachings of the scriptures, right? They say they are ruined in their endeavors for perfection. Right? So there is punishment for everything, right? In the material world only there is punishment. If there is a certain law that is created, this is for the betterment. And if someone doesn't follow a law, what happens? There is punishment. So similarly, scriptures are not to actually restrict us, it is actually to help us lead a nice life. Don't take it as a restriction. It is helping us to lead a better life. Right? And Krishna says that you lead a better life when you actually go, read the scriptures, understand it, and apply it. Okay? So let's look into the next slide. So these are some of the common these are the 4 pillars of sin actually mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, and it says intoxication, meat eating, illicit sex, and gambling. All these are considered. We'll get into this in detail in the following sessions, but this is just for information. And for all of this, we have to suffer karmic reactions. Okay. Now, we all know what is good karma, what is bad karma, papa and punya. Now, there is something called as akarma, which is inaction. What is akarma? Does anyone know? What is akarma? Bhakti yoga. Okay. A little deep. Karma yoga. Okay, karma yoga. What else? Doing something without any expectation. Okay, fine. Doing something which will not have any kind of reaction. Right? When I say activities without reaction, that is akarma. It doesn't mean inaction. Sit quietly. We are certainly doing some action, but there is no reaction to that. For when you do a good karma, there is reaction. That is punya. When you do a bad karma, there is a reaction, which is papa, suffering. And when you do akarmic activities, there is no reaction, right? And that is called as akarma. Now, for instance, if I tell you, there's a particular owner, he's given his land and he wants a building, right? He gives it to a contractor and the contractor sends his workers to actually build the building, right? The workers actually work very hard, make the 3-story building, right? There are many workers, okay? And probably 5 families of workers. They build this huge building. And then after the completion of the building, the workers decide, one room I'll take. The other family says the first floor bedroom I'll take. A 3rd floor bedroom you take. So all these 5 families of the workers actually decide to take the bedrooms. Is it okay? Why? They worked, right? Why is it not okay?
They paid money to work for it.
They have been paid money to work for it. Who is owning it? Landowner owns it. So whose property is it? Okay, very nice. So now if I tell you, now if I ask you a question, we have this body. Whom does it belong to? Okay, God. Someone else wants to counter that? It belongs to soul, okay? Someone else wants to add to it? Whom does this body belong to? It belongs to Mother Earth. Let's go back to what Krishna says. You all remember the shloka? Pancha Mahabhuta, Bhumi Rapo Nalo Vayu Kam Mano Buddhi Evacha Ahankara Iti Amme Bhinna Prakriti Ashtada. So the 5 Panchabhutas, Bhumi, Apo, Nalo, Apo, Ranalo, Vayu, Kham, then Mano, Buddhi and Ahankar. Earth, water, fire, ether, air, and then intelligence, space, intelligence, mind and false ego. So all this belongs to whom? Krishna says it belongs to me. It is my separated energies. So this body, whom does it belong to now? Belongs to? So when this body belongs to Krishna, whom should we serve? We should serve the owner. Right? Anyone disagrees to this? It's a fact, right? Body belongs to whoever it belongs to, we have to serve. Right? Now, so when we use this body to serve Krishna, and that is called akarma. So I'll give you a small example. When we eat food, whatever we have been provided is by Lord Himself, right? The sunlight, air, plants that we have, everything is provided by the Lord. So how do we make, if we want to eat something, we are hungry, we want to eat something, how do we make it akarmic? Offer it to the Lord. Because everything belongs to Him. So what we need, so we don't need karmic reactions, right? Even if you kill a plant, there is karmic reaction, right? There is karmic reaction, but we have to follow the akarmic way. And how do we do that? When we cook something, we offer it to the Lord first, and then we take the remnants. Whatever prasad we have, no, in the afternoon, right after this session, this is called prasad. Why? Because it's cooked and offered to the Lord, and then we partake it. So there is no karma. There is no suffering related to that. Right? Because Lord says you can offer this to him. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhakte prayachati. So he says all these things you can offer it to me. And when you offer it to me and then you have it, there is no reaction. So that is called, this is one of the examples of actually leading a akarmic life, or following akarma. Now, all these things can be followed. There is only one example that I gave you, right? There are multiple examples in Bhagavad Gita as to how to follow an akarmic life. Let's look into this particular shloka. Recite after me. Ye me matam idam nityam anutishtanti manavaha Shraddhavanto nushyanto muchyante vikarma bihi. Can someone read the translation, please? Right. So I'm just actually giving a praman. I said that how to lead akarmic life, right? Those who actually, Krishna has said how to eat food, right? How to eat food by offering it to him first and then partaking that, and you don't get any kind of sin for that, right? For good karma you get punya, bad karma you get papa, and akarmic activities you don't get any reactions. So that's how you lead akarmic. And here Krishna actually confirms that. He says that those who actually follow this teaching faithfully without envy becomes free from the bondage of fruitive actions. There is no bondage at all, right? Now how can we follow akarma? We just spoke about that, right? And that is by following Bhagavad Gita. Now one question I have. Do animals create new cycle of action and reaction? What do you say? They create. Who says yes? Come on, raisins. Okay. Or who says no? Who says maybe? Right. Now I'll tell you one thing. Animals, do you think they have intelligence? Yes. They have intelligence. They have, right? If you see, if I give an example, when in our house, if you're sleeping and there is a cat that comes in, silently it walks without anyone knowing. It goes and drinks the cup of milk, silently goes back, and we don't even know once we get up. We only know once we get up. Isn't that intelligent? He could have walked and made some noise and actually done that, right? Why he didn't do that? There is some intelligence. Exactly. He doesn't want to wake the family members up and spoil his plans. Right? I'll give you another example. Have you seen a bird's nest? How wonderfully it makes. I was just reading about this particular bird. I forgot the name of the bird. It actually creates a nest and it has got two openings, okay? One is a big opening and another is a flap that it creates. And this is actually to disguise. So when normally a snake climbs the tree and it goes to eat the eggs. So it goes normally to the one that is opened. So it sees that is opening and it goes inside and there is no egg. And where the bird has stored is inside the flap and only it knows. And it's just above. So don't you think the bird is intelligent? So how are we different? Ability to discriminate, okay? They don't have common sense, Prabhu says. I think the animals will get offended now. Animals don't do wrong actions, okay? Okay, okay. They can't read Shastra, okay? Instinctive, okay, very good. They are in more in gross body, okay. They don't go opposite to nature. They follow how they are programmed. Okay. Sorry, Babu. Limited intelligence. Okay. Live on the life. That's a good point. So I'll tell you one thing.
They cannot resist.
They cannot what, Babu? Resist. Okay. I'll tell you one thing. If you see any animal, whatever action they are doing, they're only doing for 4 things: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. These are the 4 activities. In Mahabharata, there's a very famous shloka: Ahara nidra bhaya maithunam cha samanyam eta pashubir naranam. Then what is it? Dharmena tesham adhiko vishesha dharmena hina pashubina samana. So if you see ahara nidra bhaya maithuna, eating, sleeping, mating and defending, samanyam etat pashubi and naranam, it is same. There is no distinction for animals or what is the one thing that is distinctive? Dharmena. So dharma, dharmoi tesham adhiko vishesha. So dharma is the one that is distinct or differentiation. And those who don't follow dharma, dharmena hina pashuhina samana. So we are just like, if we don't follow dharma, we're equal to animals. That's what Mahabharata says. Pashuhina samana. So we are actually 2-legged animals. Dvapad pashu they say in Sanskrit. So even in our life, if you actually carefully watch, we actually invest 100% of our energy in these 4 activities only: eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Right now I won't say that because we are all in Gita Course, so we are all spiritually inclined, so we are coming there. But otherwise, if you look at general population, everyone is actually only doing these activities. Why do we go to work?
For living.
For living. I'll tell you one thing. There was one of my senior devotees, he was telling me he had actually gone to one of the colleges and he actually asked the students, so why have you come to this college? So there was one guy who said, I have come to gain knowledge. So all the 100 students were looking at him. So Prabhuji asked, what about the other 100? They said, we have come for good placement. Right? So if you see, ultimately whatever we do, it is only for these activities. Right? We work so hard to maintain our family. Right? So it's only for this: eating, sleeping, mating and defending. It's only this. If you carefully dissect your life, it will be within this framework. So what is different? Dharma. Right? So one of the reasons why now I'll say that animals actually don't carry any karma or any action or reaction. They are actually in the reaction cycle already. Because of some particular action, they are in the animal body already. And they don't gather any kind of reactions. So a lion kills a deer, he doesn't get reaction because he is programmed that way. Now when I kill a deer, do you think I'll get a reaction? Why? Yes, we have higher developed intelligence. We can discriminate what is right, what is wrong. If you give a cow a bowl full of meat, do you think it will eat? No. If you give grass to a lion, would it eat? No. But we can discriminate as to what we are supposed to eat. So, responsibility comes with higher intelligence. So you have to understand that. So animals are already in the karmic cycle. They are actually facing reaction for something that they have already done. Maybe a human being in previous life probably became a lion or a tiger and it's leading that life. And it will come through that evolution process again. Right? So when it comes to human beings, it says human life is a junction. Why is it that it's a junction? Choices. Very nice, very nice. So when we have this developed intelligence, it's Scriptures say don't just stick on to these 4 things: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Your higher intelligence is not just provided for doing these 4 things. Animals do it. We do it in a sophisticated way, that's all. They hunt for food. We sit in an AC cabin, sit on a chair, rotating chair, in front of our Mac laptop. That's it. But ultimately, what are we waiting for at the end of the month? This much amount is credited. That is the Maha Mantra we are waiting for at the end of the month. Right? So you have to understand, human life, it said it's junction in scriptures. Why? Why? Because we have this evolved intelligence. We can make a choice, and based on that, we can either degrade ourselves to lower things or upgrade ourselves in the next life. So whatever actions or whatever choices that we make decides our next body. We'll come to that again. Okay, so everyone knows human life is a junction. Why? How we are discriminated, how we are differentiated between animals and humans. 4 things are equal: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Another thing is that following scriptures. Like if I get an animal inside, now a cat or someone, like you are writing notes and trying to understand and contemplate on things that I'm telling, animal won't be able to do that, right? Everyone knows that, right? Similarly, that's why human life is a junction, right? We either degrade ourselves or we upgrade ourselves. Now I spoke about the next life, right? So Krishna also says this: as a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. Now tell me one thing. When I go to a shopping mall, will that person give it to me right away? Or what do I have to do? I have to pay. Pay for whatever I have purchased. Similarly, when you have to get the next body, you should have something called as karma credits. Right? Next body. When you need a next body, similarly, you need something called as karma credits. Right? Let's dig deep into that. Now let's try and understand what are the different kinds of bodies that is available. And this is right away from Vishnu Puran. Okay? Okay, please come a little forward. I think we have few devotees there coming in. Prabhuji, if you can come a little forward, Prabhu. Come this side. Make it easier for everyone. So let's see our shopping list. Please decide after me. Jalajanava Lakshani Stavara Laksha Vimshati Kramayorudya Sankhya Pakshinam Daksha Lakshinam Trimshal Lakshani Pashavaha Chatur Lakshani Manusha. So let's actually look at 84 lakh species of bodies or types of bodies that is available for us. Right? So the first one is Jalaja Navalakshani. Jalaja means aquatic. How many are there available? 9 lakhs. Sthavara Laksha Vimshati. Sthavara, what is Sthavara? Non-moving. What is non-moving? Trees, plants. Right? That's called Sthavara. How many are there? 20 lakhs? 20 lakhs. Okay? Krameo Rudra Sankhya. What is Krameo? Insect. Right? Insects. Right? How many are there? 11 lakhs insects. Pakshinam Dashalakshana. What is Pakshinam? How many are there? Different. These are not the number of birds, right? These are species of birds. Right? Trimshal Lakshani Pashava. What does that mean? Pashava is 4-legged animals. How many are there? 30 lakhs. Chatur Lakshani Manusha. 4 lakh human beings. So do we see 4 lakh species of human beings? How is this based on? Appearance? Okay, I'm hearing a lot of things. Huh? Reasons, countries, okay. But still, we have 7 billion people. So I think possibly someone looking like me, I have more chance of maybe 1,000 people looking like me. Huh? Consciousness. So that's the right thing. If you see, I'll give you an example. If you go to a tribal place, right, you have these tribal people actually living. They live in a very certain way. And there are higher people who live in a very civilized way. I'm just giving you an example. So it's based on the consciousness. The 4 lakh species of Manava that we are talking about is based on consciousness. It's not based on color. It's not based on religion, creed, or whatever. Right? It's based purely on consciousness. Okay? All right. So in this, like I said previously, whatever karma credits we have, based on that we get a body. Now, isn't this a little scary? What if we become a krimi? Right? Krameum. There are so many species, right? My God. From a human body to an insect. Is that an upgrade or a downgrade? Right. So, see, if you read our scriptures, everything is written so clearly. The different kinds of bodies that is available. Right? The different kinds of things that is available. So, that's why human life is said to be a junction. It is where we decide if we want to fall into the lower grades of forms or upgrade ourselves. So Bhagavad Gita will actually help us upgrade ourselves. Let's look into this particular shloka. Please repeat after me. Yam yam vapi swaran bhavam tyajati tyajati antikalevaram tam tam eveti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavita. Someone read this translation.
The state of being one remembers the body, both on Kunti, that state you will attain without it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So here Krishna says, whatever state of being one remembers, when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. Now if you see, when we are small, right? Now if I ask you, can you explain me what you did when you were 4 or 5 years old? Would you be able to explain me dot to the T as to what you had done? You will only remember certain things that has made strong impressions in your mind. Sometimes what happens is if I'm going through my day and there were certain things that happened in my day which have made strong impression, I might dream about that also at night. Right? So here Krishna says, what does Krishna say? Whatever state of mind you left your body, that state you will attain. Now what? So I'll give you an example. There is another shloka. No, this is one. So if my karma credits, whatever karma I have done, and karma credits actually tell me that I have to become a cockroach in my next life, right? But at the end of my life, I think about a huge mansion. What will be my body? Cockroach in a mansion. So if you see, so Krishna says, so this one shloka is there. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyanti ante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya satta tad bhava bhavita. So in this, we have to understand one thing. Whatever state of mind we have, whatever we have been doing our entire life, right? And previously to this shloka, Krishna says one more thing, one more shloka. Everyone knows that shloka? I'll tell you that shloka. Anta kalecha maam ekam smaran mukta kalevaram yat prayati sadbhava. Anyone knows the complete shloka? Kahati nasti atra samshaya. Thank you so much. Right? So before this, Krishna has said, that anyone who leaves the body thinking about me will attain me, or will attain my nature. So there are very intelligent people. So they say, पूरा life ऐश करते हैं. At the end of the life, I will think of Krishna. Right? So one thing you have to understand, if we are smart, one who made us is smarter. Right? I'll tell you a story that I heard from one of the Maharajas. So there was this guy who went to the mountain top and he asked, "Oh God, if you are there, please show up, or please speak." And the God said, "Yes, son, I'm here." Right? Then the person asked, "Oh God, I want to know thousands of hours, how much is it for you? Or 20,000 of hours, how much is it for you?" And God said, "1 moment," he said. "It's just 1 moment for me." Wow. Then his next question was, "Millions of dollars, how much is it for you?" So God said, "It's like 1 penny for me." "God, can I have 1 penny?" What did God said? "Wait a moment. Wait a moment." Right? So if you see, if we think we are over smart, God is super smart. And it won't happen naturally if you think. Whatever activities we have been doing our entire life. So when you are actually dying, right, it is said scientifically also that we'll get flash images of whatever we have done and whatever deep impressions that we have had. And at the end of the life, when we are actually leaving, quitting the body, one particular slide will stop. And that is the state that you will attain. Krishna says that. So for my entire life, I have been working like a dog, right? And doing nothing. There is no spiritual activity at all. You think Krishna will come at that particular moment? It is said in Garud Puran, when you are actually dying, it is like 40,000 scorpion bites when the soul is actually pulled out from your body. That is the kind of pain people go through. 40,000 scorpion bites. At that particular moment, if you have never done devotional activities, do you think you will remember Krishna? If you have never chanted the holy names of the Lord, will that name come? What will come? We will be thinking about our wife, our husband, our kids, our house. Who will look after my property? So attached to my house, I'll probably become a tree next to that house. Right? So it is very important. So Bhagavad Gita actually helps us to understand how to lead life. Everything should be balanced. Right now, when I say I'm not telling you all to take sannyas and right away go into some forest, we have to do our duties. That is, we have a responsibility. Whatever we have, our wives, husbands, kids. So they are actually, everyone is related to Krishna. Krishna says, "Aham Bij Pradap Pita." Right? I am the Supreme Father. Right? So we have to take care of them. We are just a caretaker. What happens is, we get so attached to so many things in our life. Our family, our property. At the end of our life, we only think about that. Because we have done activities only relating to that. So when we actually have a balanced life, when we add spirituality, when we read Bhagavad Gita, when we do mantra meditation, this will actually help us to add spirituality in our life. So at the end of the life, whatever strong impression that has been made, that is what is going to come. If I have been chanting, if I have been taking darshan of the Lord, if I have been attending kirtan, if I have been attending Bhagavad Gita sessions like this, so what will come at the end of life? There is more probability of thinking about Krishna, right? So our life should be molded in such a way, and that's what Bhagavad Gita helps us. Right? Nobody has to do sannyas. I have not taken up sannyas. I am a grihastha, I have a wife, I have a kid. Right? But I am also practicing devotional activities. So if you see, Bhagavad Gita is very practical. Right? It talks about death. So it says, Bhagavad Gita also says that, the scriptures say that whatever we are doing is a preparation for the final test. And what is the final test? Death. Death is the final test. And we are actually preparing ourselves. Whatever we are doing right now, we are actually building a body, next body for ourselves. Right? So we should be very careful as to how our activities should be. Right? And following the injunctions of Bhagavad Gita will help you not to degrade ourselves. This human form of life is so important. Right? Atato Brahma Jigyasa, they say, Vedanta Sutra, that's the first shloka, which says that now that you have got a human body, inquire. Inquire about the existential questions, that is, who am I? Who is God? What is my relationship with God? Why am I suffering here? And all these answers to these questions, you find it in the Bhagavad Gita. Animals can't answer those questions. They can't contemplate on these questions. But we can. Right? So everyone knows, human life is a junction, and higher intelligence means higher responsibility. Okay? So some of the frequently asked questions. Let's go to that. Do we get karmic reaction in the same life? Who says yes? Who says no? Who says maybe? Who says, Prabhuji, you answer? Okay. Different types of karma seeds have different time duration after which they fructify. Now, if I give you an example, a mustard seed and a mango seed. A mustard seed might just pop up anytime, fast. But a mango seed to come up will take a long time. So it's not necessary that all the karma, all that actions that we have done should necessarily be given at this particular, in this particular life. Every karma, the reaction actually takes time to fructify based on the karma. Right? And again, Krishna says the intricacies of karma is so deep and it has got so many parameters, Arjuna, you can't understand. If Arjuna can't understand, can we? Yeah. So that's why Lord also didn't get deep into the karma, but we have understand karma from various other scriptures, right? And the Lord also says there are various reactions to this, right? And if you read Garud Puran, there is actually a detailed description about different kinds of hells and all. If you read Garud Puran, I think there are 18 chapters if I'm not wrong. And even in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is 5th canto, there is a detailed description about the hellish planets, 28 hellish planets. If you read about that, every activity that we do, we will think twice. It is that scary. Right? Right. So these scriptures are not there to scare us. This is actually to inform us. Right? You don't have to get scared. We are still there. We are still on the journey. So you don't need to worry. Right? So in this, like I said, karma seeds will take time to fructify. It's not necessary that you get all the reaction in this particular life. It could happen next life. It could happen after multiple lives also. I'll tell you, this is, everyone knows I actually described about Dhritarashtra, right? Dhritarashtra was a hunter. Like after Dhritarashtra, he saw his 100 sons die right in front of him. He asked Krishna, why did I have to go through so much pain? So there is a backstory to this. So Krishna says the 50 lifetime back, you are a hunter. And you are actually shooting the arrow towards a particular bird and the bird flew away. You got so frustrated, you actually smashed the nest, killed all the, broke all the eggs and killed all the, birds inside. 100. And that's why you got the reaction. Dhritarashtra said 50 lifetimes. Krishna, 50 lifetimes. The next life only you could have given me. So Krishna says, to beget 100 kids also, you need punya. You need credits for that. You are accumulating credits for 49 lives. And when you add credits to get 100 kids, that's when the karma blast happened. Right? So now we understand the intricacies of karma. It's so difficult to understand. When we say someone has murdered and the law actually leaves him, he pays the money to the judge, he pays it to the police. You may fool the judge here, but the law of karma takes everything into consideration. Nothing goes unnoticed. So we should be very careful in what we do, how we react to certain situations. Everything is very important, right? Is everything fixed in life? What do you say? What are some of the things that is fixed? Anyone knows? Huh? Okay. What is it? There. What is? Subtle body. Okay. Death. Okay. Okay. Soul is fixed. We are the soul. We are only transferring. Yes. Okay. Okay. Wealth is fixed. Okay. Amount of happiness and suffering. Number of breaths we take. That is our passed out Gita Course student. That's why Prabhuji is giving the answers. Yes. So your birth is fixed. Your death is fixed. Number of breaths, Prabhuji says, that is fixed. Your wealth, whatever you earn, is fixed. Yes, whatever you eat is fixed. What is not fixed? Everything is fixed, is it? Then what are we, robots? Karma is fixed, okay? Okay, not fixed, okay? So we will get reactions to what we have done, right? Huh? We can also create new karmas, yes, that is there. So there are certain situations that is provided based on your previous karma, and you have the opportunity to choose. That is not fixed, right? There is a nice story that I tell all the time. There was a drunkard. I don't know why I'm taking drinking examples today. There was a drunkard, and this particular drunkard used to drink a lot, make a fuss at home, and he had two sons. So one son became a heavy drinker, and another son doesn't touch drinks. So we asked the son who drinks, "Why do you drink so much?" He says, "My father drinks, so I'm also drinking." The other son we asked, "Why you drink?" He says, "My father drinks, that's why." Now you understand? Yeah, it's the same situation, but both have a different perspective, right? So, so again, the situations in our life will come, but the response to that situation is not fixed. That's why Lord has given us the free will. He has not made us robots, right? Whatever we are going through, it's because of previous karma that we have done. Again, we don't get God in between here. Normally people get मेरे साथी क्यों हुआ प्रभु मैं कितना सारा नारियल चढ़ाता हूँ आपको मुझे ही क्यों पकड़ा huh? There are so many papi log, we are not catching them. You know, such questions arise when we are ignorant about what is mentioned in scriptures. When we read the scriptures, we start accepting it. Let's dig deep, okay? And one more thing that is not fixed is our bhakti. Our bhakti is not fixed. That is our endeavor. That is our desire that we need, right? And it's very important that if you see a lot of people, they say, जब भगवान बुलाएंगे तब जाएंगे मंदिर. भगवान टेलीग्राम भेजेंगे? हाँ? Like we tell, no, please read Bhagavad Gita. So जब भगवान बोलेंगे हम खुद I'll buy that time. अरे भगवान ही बोला हमको, हम ही आ रहे इसलिए आपको दे रहे, फिर भी नहीं खरीदेंगे. So there are various reasons as to why, right? In bhakti, when you start doing bhakti, nothing is lost. Krishna says in one shloka, Neha Vikarma and Akarma. I forgot the shloka. Even anyone knows the shloka? Swalpa apyasya dharmasya prayato bhavato bhayat. So that particular shloka, Krishna says that whatever you do in your spiritual activity, whatever spiritual activity you do, nothing is lost. Today we are doing any kind of material activity. Today I study, I become a CA or a doctor. Next life I get human life. Do you think I will continue as a doctor? I have to again start kindergarten, no? But when it comes to spirituality, nothing is lost. So even if you have done 10 or 20% of spirituality, Krishna says, nothing is lost. You start from 21%. Next slide. So we have to understand what is permanent and what is temporary. And the focus should be given to what is permanent. Okay? Nothing happens by chance. Now when I say, I get something, I get some good things happening in my life, and I say, good luck hai mera. And something bad happens to someone, I say bad luck. So now that we have read, we have understood a little bit of karma, I want you to give me an answer. What is good luck? Just based on what we have understood so far? Punya. Punya. And what is bad luck? Papa. So that is clear? There is no such thing as good luck and bad luck. It is only what we have. We reap what we sow. Christianity, Bible also says that. Right? This is one important question. Why do bad things happen to good people? I think most of us would have seen this, right? Maybe our relative or someone who has been very devoted to the Lord, and he has been going to the temples, but some or the other way he gets some kind of disease, or is poverty stricken, or something happens to him. Right? Something very bad happens to him. And then we start questioning. क्या दिया भगवान ने? इतना मंदिर गया वो, फिर भी he got this particular disease and he has to suffer. Right? So in this, when you are talking about karma, I'll give you an example. This is a silo, okay? This is where a farmer actually stores his grain. From the top, you have the grain inlet, and the grain storage is there, and from bottom, you have the grain outlet. So when this particular farmer, he is married and he has a kid. In this particular season, he actually cultivated his farm, and he had a bad crop, right? And whatever bad crop he had, he actually put it inside this particular silo. Next season, the crop was very good, right? And he actually put good amount of seeds actually into this particular silo. And his son was saying, oh, this time crop is so nice, and he has put good. So, and when he opens the grain outlet, what comes out? Bad. But he had sown a good one, no? The son is thinking, I saw him, we had good cultivation. And why he is getting bad seeds? The bottom storage was bad. Similarly, when we actually look into a person's life and something bad is happening in that particular life, maybe he's a pious person, right? We have to understand that these are reactions to certain things that has happened in his previous life. This is just an example that I've given, where the son is little astonished as to why this is happening. He saw only good crops coming in. He didn't see the previous year's crop. So he's seeing from the silo, why is the bad grains coming? I saw my dad putting green grains only. I mean, good grains only. So now we understand, right? Why do bad things happen to good people? It is because of previous karma. It may not be previous life also, like Dhritarashtra. We don't know how complicated our life is. It could be even more complicated than Dhritarashtra. Right? Sorry, Prabhu? See, this is just an example, Prabhu. This is just an example, right? Miracles can happen, but let's be a little practical here. And when I talk about practicality, right? Bad grains were already there. He has done certain bad karma, and that's why we have. I'm just talking about this particular thing. So farmer had a bad cultivation, and that's why he has put. So normally when you put the bad grains, on top of that good grains, normally it's natural that the bad grains will come out. Similarly, when we are talking about karma also, every action has a reaction. So reaction will come. But don't worry. You don't need to get scared. You don't need to think, Prabhuji, यहाँ आने से पहले मेरे को कुछ पता नहीं था. So we'll have that question, right? I didn't know anything about this. I should have been careful about my choices. Now you don't need to worry about this. We'll get to that. Please write the question, Prabhu. Write it down. Otherwise, what happens is I'll take up more time and we won't end on time. You just write whatever questions you have, right? I'll actually address those questions. Another question is, can good karma nullify bad karma? What do you think? Who says yes? Who says no? Maybe. Prabhuji, aap answer. Okay. So I'll talk about karma mathematics. So 7 being good karma, 4 being bad karma. What is the answer? 3 what? 3 good karma. Huh? That how? Huh? Din mein sannyasi, raat mein vilasi. That's how it works? No. So today I have done some bad activity. Tomorrow morning, go to temple, feed some poor people. All the bad activity is gone. Kill someone today. Tomorrow full charity. Done. Is that how it works? So it is. Whatever good karma that we have done, 7 good karmas, we have to enjoy for that. Whatever bad karmas we have done, which is 4, we have to suffer for that. That's how karma mathematics works. Right? It doesn't give you a free way that you do something bad and next day you start doing good activities. That doesn't work. Right? We have to be responsible for our actions. Now, this was the question that I asked. Will I be excused? Prabhuji, before I came to Gita Course, I didn't know about this. Will Lord excuse me? What do you think? This is an example. Arrested for speeding. If I go and speed my car in a particular area, right? There was a board, go slow at this particular speed. I didn't notice that. Traffic police stops me. I say, I didn't see, sir. I didn't know. Do you think he's just going to leave me? Paisa nikal, he'll say, right? Right? And similarly, hygiene also. When you're eating something very dirty from some place, you don't know it's not hygienic. Reactions will come. Stomach upset will happen. I didn't know, so it can't happen to me. Will that work? No. Similar way, a small child. We all know that if you put your hand in the fire, it will burn. Small child doesn't know. So he or she puts the hand inside the fire. The fire will excuse, say, oh, small child, let me not burn her or him. Will that happen? So, ignorance is not of the law is not an excuse. Again, you don't need to worry. I need to keep telling everyone that you don't need to worry. The laws of karma are stringent, but when you actually start following the path of bhakti, or following the path of Bhagavad Gita, there are ways that karmas can be nullified also. So you all don't need to worry, right? And that's one of the reasons that Bhagavad Gita has been provided to mankind, right? It is not, but it's our duty to actually desire and endeavor also, that I want to learn, right? I want to learn because this has been given for mankind only. The thing is, I don't believe in scriptures and all that. Again, you will start leading the life that you want. Like I said, what is good for me may not be good for you. Again, it becomes relative. It is not based on any foundation. Foundation is scriptures. Based on scriptures, we actually understand what is right and what is bad. That's what Krishna says, what is action, inaction, and what is bad action. He talks about that, right? Ignorance of truth of life leads to sinful activity, which leads to suffering, right? So it's very important that ignorance can't be excused. So when we have this opportunity to understand Bhagavad Gita, we should take this very seriously. I'm glad that you all are coming on a regular basis. I see familiar faces. So nice to see all of you. I see some new faces also. So nice to see everyone taking this path so seriously. In this day and age, this is so important, right? You all know it is so important, right? There was a question. I think one of the parents had asked, Prabhuji, बच्चों को कहाँ तक छूट मिलता है, उनको तो पता नहीं होता ना, so many things they do. As per Shastra, if I'm not wrong, it is 8 or 10 years. I'm not sure. I can confirm that with you. No, it's 8 or 10. It has to be. Is it 5 years? Okay. Now 5 years we are supposed to start bhakti. That I know. That is what as per Shastra it is. Again, we all didn't start. I also didn't start. But that's fine. You don't have to be dejected. So Krishna is very merciful. Right? Krishna is very merciful. So let's not worry about that. So I'll get you an answer regarding which, if it's 5, 8 or 10. As far as I know, I remember it's 8 or 10, but I'll just confirm that. That story is. अच्छा. Is correction. Okay. अच्छा. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. So again, but it's as a responsible parents, right? It is our duty to actually bring our family also into this. And we'll only do that when we start. So what happens is, normally what parents do is they actually send their kids. You learn shlokas, you learn kirtan. You know what will happen? Nowadays kids are very intelligent. They will think my father is always on the phone. He is watching TV, he is binge watching Netflix, and he is sending me to read Bhagavad Gita. Right? So this won't work. Right? When we are talking about being responsible parents, we have to start ourselves. When I say the change starts from our home, from ourselves. Right? We can't expect our kids to do something when we are ourselves not doing. I give an example of Mahatma Gandhi, right? A Mataji came to, a particular lady came to Gandhiji and said, my kid is eating sweets. Can you tell him not to eat sweets? It's not good for his teeth. Mahatma Gandhi said, come after 3 months. And after 3 months, Mahatma Gandhi says, don't eat sweet. Was it Paramahamsa? No, I read it as Gandhiji. Okay, whatever. I just take it as an example. Okay? Be Paramahamsa or Gandhiji, just take it as an example. So why? What I'm trying to tell is that even when you're actually telling someone, you have to follow them. So Gandhiji or Paramahamsa, whoever that was, he had a sweet addiction and he took 2 or 3 months to get rid of that addiction, and only then he actually advised the kid. Right? So it's very important when we are actually telling our kids how to do certain things, it's very important for us also to follow that. Right? So just sending them to kids class and we not coming, that is not good. So I'll encourage if anyone is doing that way. So please come for Bhagavad Gita sessions. This is actually very informative, knowledgeable, and it will actually lead you to the right path. Right? Your kids learn what you do. They get inspired by what they see. If I give a set of instructions to my kid, he will not follow unless he sees that I am also doing the same thing. Kids watch and grow. Right? It's very important that you follow a certain nice way of life, and certainly you don't even need to tell the kids. They'll start imbibing those qualities. So it's very important. The surgeon is back. Okay. So human life being endowed with higher intelligence provides us an opportunity to become free from ignorance. Right? So with this high intelligence that we have, what have I told? Just don't get... What are the 4 activities that we are normally busy with? Mating and defending. These 4 activities. Don't just get involved only in these activities. Right now, 100% of our energy is only into these activities. What is the element that we need to add? Spirituality. This is the element that we need to add. It is very important to balance our life. How does this help? Right? At the end, this is the preparation. For the test. What is the test? Death. Whatever activities that we do, that is the state that we'll achieve. If we want to think about Krishna and go back to Krishna, what we need to do? Regularly chanting the holy names of the Lord. Right? There are so many mantras that is available that I told. But every mantra has certain rules and regulations. Every mantra is powerful. But every mantra has certain rules and regulations. And as people of Kali Yuga, it is not very easy for us to follow those regulations. So that's why Mahamantra is called a Mahamantra, because anyone from any caste, creed, religion can chant. That's why it's called at any time. There is no Desha Kala Patra, there is no such thing that is blocking us to actually chant the holy names of the Lord. Tarva Vedeshu Drishyate Mata Paratara Upaya. The Lord Brahma says to Narada, there is no other way. I have actually read the entire Vedas. Brahmaji says, Narada, that this Mahamantra is the only respite for the people of Kali Yuga. This is in Kali Samtarna Upanishad. So when I say chanting is required. So one more thing I have to ask. See, every Sunday we chant, we come here and chant. Anybody chanting on a regular basis, on a daily basis? Very nice. Rest of the people? What are we waiting for? See, what I'll tell is actually, this is an habit we are trying to build. So please do chant. This is just a start, right? Sunday we are coming, like-minded people, we are all together chanting, it's very powerful. But you should also start chanting in your house. At least one round. It just takes 10 minutes, not more than 10 minutes. Right? We should start. Let's not wait for something. We should have our personal bead bag, and we should start chanting. It's very important. Right? And this is how we start adding spirituality in our life, bit by bit. Then also we have the Shloka a Day app. I think most of you would have downloaded. If not, you can actually go to our bookshelf and you can contact Vikarma Prabhuji there. He'll help you with downloading that. Yeah? Yes. So please do that. It's very important to read one verse of Bhagavad Gita or hear one verse of Bhagavad Gita. So these are the little habits that we are trying to build. Right? Habit, if you are not doing it on a regular basis, you won't do it. You have now fixed, see, now we have fixed a time. Sunday 11 o'clock we are listening to Bhagavad Gita, which is good, which is quite, I see that most of you have made it a habit now. It has become a habit. 11 o'clock I'm going to reserve it for Bhagavad Gita. A small addition is that 10 more minutes every day, mantra meditation. The simplest thing. Kali Yuga, this is the simplest thing that has been offered by Lord. Kalo tad hari kirtana. Right? That's what Lord says. In Kali Yuga, just Hari Kirtana is important. It's very important. Okay? Can we modify our past karmic reactions? This was the question that I had. No? Hey, no faith in Krishna. Huh? You think he can't? He's all powerful. Don't you think he can? He can't. But he's all powerful. He's Supreme Lord. So, don't you think? Oh, is it? Okay, let's read the shloka then. So, a man engaged in devotion service rids himself of both good and bad reaction even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the art of all work. So, you don't need to worry. So, any kind of spiritual activity that you do, it will actually help us. Right? I have heard that a lot of times, right, devotees have to go through a lot of turbulence in their life. But the reactions have been put in a way that they don't suffer so much. It is because of the devotion service. If you see a lot of people, a normal devotee, if you take, and a normal person, materialistic person, who's just leading a material life, they both go through same kind of turbulence in their life. But if you see, both of them deal in a very different way. So the understanding of Bhagavad Gita will actually give you the strength also to how to deal with the situations that come in your life. And of course, the Maha Mantra also nullifies, helps you reduce the karmic reactions also. So you don't need to worry that prior coming to this particular session, I didn't know Prabhu and I have done a lot of sins. Everyone has. Everyone has. So many, yes. So now we have to understand that not just this life, we have probably done so many other bad karmas in a previous life. See, one of the things we have to understand that we are sinner is that we have this body. We have this body. It is a reaction. So we have to understand that we have done a sin. And that's why we have this body. Right? Very good question. I'll tell you one thing. If I do a good reaction, I have to enjoy. So Mataji says, for bad reaction, I understand. We nullify. Good reaction, why to nullify? That is the question. So we have to understand one thing. For bad reaction, whatever bad we do, we have to suffer. We understood the way the karma seeds fructify. Some take time, some don't take time. So for bad reaction, I may not suffer this life. Probably next life or next to next life, I may need to suffer. Similarly with good karma also, we have to come back. So coming back, so what does actually mantra meditation and spirituality do? It actually helps you escape the cycle of birth and death. Do you want to come back and suffer again? Same, janma, mrityu, jara, vyadi, birth, old age, disease, death. Again you have to go through some other body. So even when you do a good karma, you have to come and enjoy. So you have to get a body. So when you do akarmic activities, we spoke about akarmic activities, it doesn't have any kind of reaction. So you don't suffer, you don't get punya also. So which ultimately leads you don't take birth. Otherwise you become entangled in the samsara. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Again the cycle of birth continues. How long will you continue? How many lifetimes you have been here? So Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, the scriptures are actually telling us to be prepared to come back to eternal self. Otherwise we are stuck in the cycle of birth and death. Right? So let me just finish this, then we can take some more questions. Matayo, I hope I have answered your question. So how to deal with adverse situations in our life? So ask yourself, if you are doing this, accept the fact that I have done this. If you are facing some kind of reaction, right? Accept the fact that it is a reaction because some or the other thing I have done in this life or the previous life, which we have no clue about. Next is smile. Right? Is it easy to smile?
Yes.
Try. Okay, smile. When you are actually going through any kind of reaction, try smiling. Don't get too entangled in it. Right? Keep advancing in your spiritual life, you will get more clarity. So just like we get more clarity based on karma, right? Because we actually attended this particular session, we are actually getting more clarity as to what are the different kinds of karma. Right? So this is very important. As you go spiritually, we have just started. There are so many gems that we need to unearth. And Bhagavad Gita, 700 slokas. Oh my God. It will take a lifetime for us to understand. Right? So these are the things that we need to do on for a spiritual advancement. Chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which I tell you that not just Sunday, don't take it just as a Sunday routine, take it as a daily routine. Maha Mantra needs to be chanted on a daily basis. Right? At least one round, anyone can do it. Please don't say that you are so busy that you don't have 10 minutes for the Lord. Right? So that is very, and this is ultimately this is actually benefiting you, no one else. Right? So please take that seriously and chant. We have the Shloka a Day app. Please download that. That will actually help you because our senior Vaishnavas have actually taken the pain to actually go to explain you the entire 700 shlokas in Bhagavad Gita. Record it for you. Make it very simple for you. And then these are booster sessions to continue our spiritual life. Like I said, I have made a promise that I'll come every session. Most of you have promised me also that you'll land. I see that most of you are coming, which is nice. And please continue coming to these sessions. Right? So what I want to do is I'll open it for questions. Right? Any questions? I'm sure there are many. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu had written down a question, I think already.
So,
Hare Krishna.
You said about the karma we have, if you do an action, then there is a reaction.
Yes.
If I do that, then I will have to be back and good. One is doing is thinking about planting also will have reactions because we have not done it. Let's say I'm not somebody has not murdered anyone, but he's constantly thinking, but he won't do it also because of the fear of God. Will that be counted as karma?
That's such a nice question, such a nice question. But in the scriptures, what is mentioned is, for Kali Yuga, you have been given that shoot. But in the previous Yuga, even what you think, your mind, you had karmic reactions to that. When it comes to Kali Yuga, you are not. So you don't need to worry. But the thing is that as we progress in our spiritual life, we should not have those kind of thoughts also. Right? And that's what Bhagavad Gita and the scriptures actually will help us. Though we don't face reactions for the thoughts that we get, but what happens is ultimately when thoughts start coming, may not be this life, it becomes a deep impression in our head, and at some point of time, we may actually do it also. Maybe not this birth, maybe next birth, right? So Bhagavad Gita and the various scriptures that we have will actually help us to not get those negative thoughts also. So yes, Prabhu, so we won't get any kind of reactions. For Kali Yuga, that is a benediction that is given, I would say, that we don't get any kind of reaction for that. Yes. Yes. So that is a good point. Prabhuji says that it will actually slow down your spiritual process if you get those negative thoughts also. Right? Yes, Prabhu. Correct.
And the person is performing the activity. So that person is separated. And the person is performing the
So good question. So it is said that person, if I'm just giving an example that I'm taking, I've committed a crime, murder maybe, and by the law I have been asked to be executed, right? I'm killed, and so for me also, I don't get any kind of reaction for that at a later stage because I have already faced the reaction, right? And the person who's doing it also doesn't get any reaction because that's his duty. So you won't get any reaction. Yeah? Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Karma credit, individual concept. This was like karma credit belongs to me. So any action we take it together.
Right.
For example, with the group, we'll take it together, whole family will take it together. Or my action can lead to some other action.
Right.
So how does this credit system work when we look at a bigger picture? Is it just mindset or other people's karma affect me?
So when you're taking a decision together is what you said, no, Prabhu? Together?
From just decision. When you take, for example, we are all doing the class together. How much you're getting credit for this karma and you're teaching us. Because some of our karma credit group.
That's a very nice tricky question actually. So it basically, I would say, it depends on the intention, Prabhu. So karma credits depends on the way you actually have taken the class very seriously, how seriously you have taken, and how seriously you are actually applying it in your life also. So based on that, karma credits will be added. So just by hearing also you get some credit. Just by applying you get more credit. And when you apply and actually preach it to someone else, you get even more credit. So that's the way it works, Prabhu. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Correct.
But what about Gandhari?
I don't know the backstory of Gandhari, Prabhu.
He is the very popular.
Dhritarashtra, yes.
So what I'm trying to say is, me performing some karma, down the line when I am facing the karma, up down to the other people who are involved, who are part of my life, they also end up either being better.
Correct. I got your question. I got it.
So how does that work?
Yes. So it is said, see, some of the people are supposed to be facing that karma because of previous lifetime. I don't know about Gandhari's previous thing, but it's said in scriptures also. When I'll give you an example of someone having a physically challenged kid. Who is suffering here? What about the kid? Kid is not suffering? Everyone is suffering. So everyone is built or brought in together because they are supposed to face that reaction. Because they have done certain reactions in the past, certain karmic activities in the past, that they have to face that reaction. And that is what scriptures also say. If someone comes, right? If, it's very sad to see this state when you're talking about small children and all, very disabled and all, right? It is very challenging for the kid. It is very challenging for the parents also and the families around. But everyone has to go through that karmic reaction because they are destined for that because of their previous karmic activities. It is not just by chance that they didn't have to face this. No, it is nothing by chance, Prabhu. No. So that is not by chance. Yeah.
Like, how do we know what we have done because of that we get?
So we no that nobody has an idea as to what we have done. Only Lord has the idea because He is the Kaldashi. We don't have that idea. We have to understand the Bhagavad Gita scriptures is actually not to go back into our life and understand. That's one of the reasons, right? When you spoke about reincarnation last, only few people have these reincarnation memories. Not everyone has. You know why? It is said in scriptures that it is also a benediction. Because if you have memories of what you have done in the past, you will not be able to lead your life. The way you died in your previous life, that will keep haunting you. So it's like a benediction that is provided by the Lord, that He erases the memory. And only certain strong impressions stay.
But if we are not getting the karma in the same life, or we know we have done it very badly, like, and other will also understand, like, suppose something I have been in life. I think this life I don't get any suffering for that. In the next life I get. So there is no combination. I don't think, okay, I have done something in the previous life because of that. But there will not be any example of ego. You should not do it.
See, that is why we have scriptures, Ramataji. The scriptures is here to understand. It is not for us to go back and do past life regression and try to understand what I did. Because there are so many past life things that we have gone through, millions of lifetimes. It will become a headache for us to actually think about what all has happened. So scriptures is just for you to understand that we had done certain actions, and that's why we are facing. So if you see even something good happens in our life, we don't go thank Lord, no? We get a promotion, we get a hike. Only when something bad happens, we blame Lord, right? So we have to think in this such a way that scriptures are actually telling us that certain things have happened in your life, and that's why you are actually suffering. And scriptures also tell you what you're not supposed to do and what you're supposed to do, right? If you read the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned as to how to lead a life, what to eat, when to sleep, what not to eat, how much to work, right? Everything is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. So scriptures doesn't leave you just telling you that this is because of your past life reaction, but it also tells you how to lead a nice life. And when you go by that, you will not face any kind of reactions in the future. Right? When I talk about akarma, right? Like karma and vikarma, both have actions, both have reactions. For both, we have to come down and face pain or suffering, or we have to enjoy. When it comes to akarma, we don't need to, because it's completely breaking the cycle of birth and death. And that is what we are all craving for. That is what we are all waiting for. Right? So that's why Krishna says that ultimately, if you do all these activities, you come back to me. So many times he has said so many shlokas in Bhagavad Gita. You do this certain activity, think about me, worship me, you come back to me. This for a deeper sessions in the later. And I'm just giving you based on karma. So when you do akarmic activities, it's not getting any kind of reactions. Right? Yes, sir.
You know that the four type of religious cases based on consciousness. How does the consciousness differ between humans? It is the ability of mind we're talking about, or the presence of mind, that four type of religious cases we have.
See, it is based on everything, Prabhu. The way we live in social order, the way we lived, we are advanced in spirituality. It is based on multiple things. Right? Consciousness, when you're talking about consciousness, when I give you an example about tribal chiefs, my son sees WW, so I have to. So, tribal people, right? So, when you're talking about tribal people, when you talk about the way they greet people also, they are not very courteous, and the way they eat, right? It's not very civilized. So, that is one way of looking at it. Forget about spirituality and all that. That is at a later stage. But these are different grades that I talk about, right? That is the grade of consciousness that we are, how evolved we are in terms of consciousness, how to deal with people, right? And spirituality is at a very high stage, right? Even when we are in this particular room also, everyone is at a different consciousness level, and not everyone is same.
Just like if you income and different 4-5 classes are there,
Correct.
similarly your consciousness level, there are 4 lakhs.
4 lakhs. Yes. Different kinds of slab. Income tax slab. Prabhuji gives nice exams. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, you had a question, Prabhu.
So Prabhuji, you mentioned that if you have a good karma, you enjoy that, and if you had a bad karma, then you will suffer that, right? So suppose if someone suffered all his bad karma and now he's having the good karmas only, and he got the eternal life, like he went back to the God, or like he went to the supreme power. But what would happen to his good karma then? Then can he do charity more than, or like how?
See, Prabhu, if there is good karma that is he has done, he has to come back, right? So that's why we say, I'm not that you don't do good karma. You have to do good karma. If we have certain amount of capacity to help people, we should help. But how do we help? How do we help? Right. So like even when it comes to charity, right? In Bhagavad Gita, it's mentioned charity is also given in 3 modes: sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. Right? And when we do it in a sattvic mode, also we have some kind of reactions, and we have to do it in a akarmic mode. So when we are helping someone, right, we are helping with an intention that Lord has given me with this opportunity to help you, and I expect some kind of recognition from you. So that again will get you punya, right? So when without expectations and with the mood that it is because of Lord's mercy that I am able to help someone, that comes into akarmic. In Shastra, it is said that the best way where you don't get any kind of akarmic reaction is actually donating to a temple, feeding a cow, and taking care of brahmanas. This comes in the highest level of charity, right? And again, when you actually give it to a temple also, when you are actually donating some money to a temple, what does temple do? When it comes to ISKCON, I'll just give you an example. ISKCON gets some kind of donations, right? So what we do with the donations, any idea? We actually have, yes, we do. If you do, feed a lot of people. Even if you see, we have our kitchen here. Every day we feed more than 200 people in the evening, right? And we are not feeding normal food. It is Krishna Prasad, right? Krishna Prasad has its own benefits. It is not like normal food, right? It's a spiritual food. Right? It's a prasad that we have been offered. We have offered Lord, and that we actually give it to the people outside, because it is very important for them. So in this way, their hunger is also satisfied, and they get some spiritual benefit also, without knowing maybe. Some of them don't know, some of them are hungry. But somehow the other way, as a temple, we are doing our bit, right? That is very important. And when we actually go in the month of December, we actually start distributing Bhagavad Gita also. Now, there are various people who give some kind of donation, and with that donation, we actually distribute Bhagavad Gita to various orphanages, old age ashrams, right? Because it will help them. This is the book that will help them, right? So yes, so if a certain person has been devoted in his life, I'm expecting him to actually do all good activities in the name of law, so he doesn't get reaction, right? And that is why he has to lead an akarmic life. And a karmic life, when he doesn't have reaction, when he won't have reaction, and he has always been devoted to the Lord, ultimately at the end of the life, he'll actually remember Lord, and he doesn't need to worry about anything. When you are going to Lord, you don't need to worry; you get everything there. That is a deeper discussion that we need to have, right? Any other question? Yes, Madhavi. Let's take this last question. After that, we can take the questions when I'm here only. Okay.
There will be consequences to that and the great unwanted. So this is actually how the past patterns are cycle. How does it even upgrade this to cycle evolution?
No. So that's a good question actually. So even when it comes to scriptures, right, our evolution actually doesn't follow the Darwin's evolution. That has been by a lot of scientists also. They have actually disregarded Darwin's evolution. If you actually read the Darwin's book, you will actually laugh. You will actually laugh. You know what it said? There is one evolution theory where Darwin says that, you know bear, right? Bear. And you know how bear evolved into what? Bear evolved into a whale. You know how? Just by opening its mouth for a long time. For years together, and that evolved to whale. And not just this, there are multiple this thing. Even when you're talking about deer, right? A deer wanted to reach the upper branch to eat the leaf. And as the deer generation wanted to reach that, and it became a giraffe. If you read Darwin's theory, you'll probably burn that book. I know, as in our material education, we have been taught that there's nothing wrong for now, because we need a job, we need to take care of the family, so we need to. But as we read scriptures, right, we need to understand there is a different way of evolution. The scriptures also, there are everything is divided into three modes: sattvic, tamasic, rajasic. So even when it comes to animals, they are also divided into different modes. If you talk about lions and tigers, they come in the rajasic mode. That's in the mode of passion. No, rajasic mode. No, it's lion and tiger. I think it's rajasic, if I'm not wrong. Tamasic would be different animals, because they're passionate. They come in that mode. And when it comes to sattvic, it is cow and various other animals. So there again, these are all, again, there is a way of building. So if you fall under the tamasic mode, you ultimately move to a rajasic mode, ultimately move to a sattvic mode, and then come back. No, animals, after you finish the animal phase, there is a time that you come to human phase also, because everyone has an opportunity. Everyone is on an individual journey, so you don't need to worry that if I'm stuck somewhere, let's not go into animal, right? That's why we are doing this session, right? Let's not talk about going to, what is the use of going degrading our life after knowing so much, right? Let's not talk about that. See, we are a Lord has given us the power to actually control certain things in our life, right? Coming to Gita sessions, it's in your power, right? You're doing mantra meditation, it's in your power. Reading Bhagavad Gita shloka, it's in your power. Hearing Bhagavad Gita shloka, it's in your power, right? Attending kirtan and aarti, it's in your power. So certain things are there in our power. So why actually think about something degrading? If we are doing this constantly, automatically our life will upgrade without you knowing also. So let's not think about if I'm stuck in a lion's body. No, you will not be stuck. You are in a human body. You are in a very nice body, right? With higher developed intelligence, that we spoke about. Yeah, so you don't need to worry. Not just that, we need to not focus our entire thing on the four things that I spoke about. We need to focus on that, but add to that is spirituality. That is what is differentiating us from the animals, right? Okay, then what we'll do is I'll stop the session. We'll do 5 minutes of mantra meditation. Prabhu, I need the music and the lights turned off as well. Okay, yeah, John. Okay. Then what? How are you seeing this?